Hey guys, it's Mark here. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be talking about a city in New Jersey called Newark. Newark is home to the largest collection of cherry blossom trees. And in this beautiful city is a case of a man who used a dating app called Tag to meet with his victims and murder them. His victims were all women. His name is Khalil Wheeler Weaver. In this video, I'm just going to be using his name Wheeler. Wheeler is a 25 years old young man who is known to be loving, quiet, and well behaved. He worked as a security guard in a grocery store. He also came from a family of two law enforcement officers. He murdered three young women in just 12 weeks in 2016. He would have murdered his fourth victim, but she escaped. What a lucky girl. Wheeler carefully targeted his victims. He was going after women whom he feels will not be missed by their loved ones when he murders them, who are women that are homeless and women that are prostitutes, like that use sex work as a way of living. His first victim was 19 years old Robin West. He raped her, he murdered her in an abandoned building in Orange County, New Jersey, and put the building in flame with her body in it. The firefighters was called and they came to the building and took out the blaze. In the building, they found the body of Robin West. Her body burnt beyond recognition just a few days before her 20th birthday. Her body was so badly burnt that it took the investigators 2 weeks to identify her. They were only able to identify her through her dental records. Robin West's parents split when she was just a baby. She had rough childhood, had hard time in school, and was in and out of mental health facilities. Before her death, she had moved from Philadelphia to New Jersey and was using sex work as a way to support herself. On the day she met with Wheeler, she was with a friend. Her friend was the one who saved Wheeler's car plate number in her phone contact list. After several days, Robin West's family couldn't reach her on the phone. They panicked and they were wondering what is wrong with her, what is going on with her. They wanted to wish her happy birthday, but nobody was able to reach her on the phone. They texted her, she wouldn't reply. They called her on the phone, she wouldn't call back or she wouldn't pick her calls. So they panicked and they had to call the police. About their daughter missing, little did they know that the body that was found in the abandoned building was their daughter's body, and Wheeler was brought in by the police for questioning, and he said that he took Robin West out to eat and dropped her off. And when they asked him where did he drop her off, he said he dropped her off towards an abandoned building which was 2 blocks away from where her body was found. And the police tried to make more investigation. They couldn't find anything to be able to charge him with Robin West's body or Robin West missing, and all they did was to let him go, and that was the biggest mistake they did. On the 27th of October 2016, the next woman will go missing. Her name is Joan Brown from Newark. She was 33 years old. She was homeless at the time she was last seen alive. Witnesses say they had not seen her since they saw her entering a car, and that car they saw her entering was Wheeler's car. She had been struggling with mental health issues. 2 months later, her body was found by a work crew in an abandoned building. Her nose, mouth, and eyes were covered with duct tape. She had been strangled to death with a jacket which was tied around her neck. His next victim was Lucky and his only survivor. Her name is Tiffany Taylor. She was 34 at the time in November 2016. A former sex worker, Tiffany was homeless and a few months pregnant. She met Wheeler through one of her friends who introduced him to her. At the time, she was in a motel called Riz Motel with her friend whose name was not mentioned in this case. Wheeler seems to have a crush on her. He would call her or text her like every 2 to 3 days to meet up or check up on her. Tiffany said he was just trying to make her trust him and convince her to meet up. One night, Tiffany was driving her friend's car to pick up something for him. So Wheeler called her on the phone and she answered, and she told Wheeler that she's going to pick up something for one of her friends, and he asked her if he could ride along. She said okay, and she went to pick him up on a highway. So when she went to pick him up, she saw he was having on a ski mask and some gloves. So she asked him, like, "Why are you having ski masks on and gloves?" And he said he was cold. Both of them started riding along. Wheeler asked her to pull over so that he could use the bathroom. And next thing she remembers was being at the back seat of the car with Wheeler's hand on her throat. And he was raping her from behind. He choked her into unconsciousness several times and raped her several times. She woke up with handcuffs on her wrists and also with duct tape on her mouth. She managed to free one of her hands from the handcuffs, and she was able to do this without Wheeler noticing it. The duct tape on her mouth started to get loosened a bit from the sweat and tears that was on her face. So she was able to start speaking to Wheeler, and when she started talking to Wheeler, she asked Wheeler if Wheeler can take her back to the motel. And Wheeler said, "Why would I take you? Why would I do that?" So she said because she left her phone in the motel room. Her phone has all the text messages and the calls they have exchanged, that if she goes missing, that the police is going to link him with these messages and calls. And Wheeler was like, okay. Then Wheeler took her back to the motel. He wanted to get that phone so badly so that he can erase every evidence that could link Joan to him. She also told him that she was in the room with an old guy, that if they get to the motel that she will be able to convince the old guy to give them some money, and Wheeler agreed. He put her coat up around her neck area, just on her shoulder over here, in order to cover the handcuffs, and he also told her not to speak, just to shut up. And he took her to the motel room, and when they got in front of the room, she knocked, and her friend was able to open the door. Immediately her friend opened the door, she ran inside and closed the door. She started telling her friend what she has passed through, what she just experienced, and Wheeler was outside hitting on the door. Then she opened one of the curtains and showed Wheeler that she have got loose one of her hands, and Wheeler saw that, and Wheeler just ran away from the motel. Her friend immediately called the police. She told them what happened, but they didn't believe her.
What injuries do you what injuries do you have?
Look at my face and the duct tape.
For the what?
From the duct tape, my face.
When did he duct tape you?
Huh?
In the car?
In the car.
So you let him duct tape you, or what happened? I just need to know.
He put the handcuffs on me first. He choked me out, and after he choked me on him.
What was it? All happened in the car?
Yeah.
Where were you parked at this time? The gas station over there?
No, it was by the gas station. No.
By the gas station?
Back block.
It was in his car.
It was in his car.
So he took the duct tape with him.
Had to, yeah.
And he just ran away?
Ran away.
If the police had believed her and went after Wheeler that night, the next victim, Sarah Butler, would have been alive today. She was a second-year student at New Jersey City University. She worked as a lifeguard at a local YMCA and was in a dance team in high school. She had a loving family and 2 sisters. She was home from school for Thanksgiving break. She met Wheeler through a dating app called Tag, and she was 20 years at the time, and Wheeler was using the name Little Yacht Rock on the dating app. They exchanged several messages on the site. He tried to meet up with her so many times, but she said no. Then he offered to pay her $500 if she would meet up and have sex. Then she agreed. There was an important question she asked Wheeler during their conversations when she was about to go and meet him. She asked him, "You are not a serial killer, right?" On November 22nd, she decided to go and meet up with Wheeler. She told her mom she's going to say goodbye to one of her friends, and she took the family minivan and she went to meet up with Wheeler. And her family did not know that that would be the last time they would see her. 9 days later, her body was discovered buried under leaves and trees in Eagle Rock Reservation. She was strangled. Sarah Butler's family, community, friends, and police responded to her disappearance. They were searching everywhere to see if they could find her. Her father was putting up a missing persons poster when he got a call that his daughter's body has been found. The law enforcement officers came to his house to show him the pictures they have taken so that he could identify his daughter. So he looked at the picture and he said, That's my baby. Sarah's sisters had her laptop password. They started going through her laptop with the help of their friend to check if they could see any clue of what might have caused their sister to be murdered. And it didn't take a long time. They saw messages on tag between Sarah, which is their sister, and Little Yacht Rock, aka Willa. So they didn't know who he was, they didn't know his name, they didn't know how they could be able to reach him. And what they did was they set up a plan. They were able to create a fake profile on tag and was able to communicate with Little Yacht Rock, aka Willa. They were able to get his attention with the fake profile they created on tag, and they lure him into a catfish trap. Later, Willa decided to meet up with them at the specific location they gave to him. So already Sarah Butler's family have informed the police what they are doing. This is all planned out with the police, so the police already knew what was going on. Willa arrived at the pre-scheduled location they gave to him, hoping to meet another woman he's going to rape and murder, without knowing it was a trap. Immediately, the police arrested him, and they arrested him on the 5th of December 2016. During the investigation, police found some incriminating evidence on Willa's phone, and they found Google searches like how to make homemade poison to kill human, and they found Google searches like death rape drugs. And when they checked his whereabouts with his phone, they found out that he was present in the same building that Robbie West's body was found, and that he already killed her and set the building ablaze, left the building and came back to the building to watch when the firefighters was taking out the blaze. And with all this incriminating evidence, they were able to convict him. And also, Tiffany Taylor was a core witness against Willa. She testified against Willa in court. Willa pleaded not guilty, but that did not work. He was found guilty of 11 accounts, and including 3 accounts of murder and 1 account of kidnapping. He was sentenced to 160 years in prison. He still spoke in court and said that he was innocent. Just listen to what he has to say in court.
I would like to say I do feel empathy for the victims, and my heart goes out to their families and friends. However, I was not, and I repeat, I was not the person who committed these crimes.
At a press conference, Sarah Butler's family remembered her love for teaching children, her love to dance, and her love for her family. And her mom also said that she wants Willa to know that he messed with the wrong family and he messed with the wrong girl.
I just wanted to let him know that he messed with the wrong girl. I never addressed his name in my family.
This is where your boy Mark is going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and like the video and comment down below and tell me your opinion about this case. And just be safe out there and be careful and look out for yourself and for your family. It's your boy Mark signing out. Peace, guys.